Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Kay, Shaka, we've also got Jan and Mark Ogden with us as well. We'll get straight into it by asking you, Shaka, at the moment, would you take Riyad Mahrez or Jadon Sancho for a right-winger position?
Riyad Mahrez.
Why?
I just think he's proven it time and time again for a longer time. He's done it at 2 clubs. And I'm assuming here we're talking about one player for right now. We're not talking about Sancho's age or prospect. We're talking about one player right now. I take Riyad Mahrez.
Jan, there's no way that you agree with that, is there?
Well, after I've changed my middle name from Jadon now, so I take that away. But I agree with Mahrez has shown it on a higher level for a longer period in 2 clubs. So Jadon Sancho there to prove it now. But what I've seen from him in Germany, and I've seen him so many times live, Manchester United fans, enjoy yourself. This is going to be a ride.
Oh, nice. Okay, Mark. Very funny asks, has Arsenal gone bonkers trying to sign Ben White for 50 million and Aaron Ramsdale for 30 million?
Yeah, I do think that 30 million for Ramsdale is a bit excessive. He's had a couple of seasons in the Premier League. I think he's been relegated both times, so that's not a good omen for Arsenal, is it? I think Ben White is a good investment in the future. I think Arsenal need a top quality defender. He's got potential. He's got promises. He's got leadership qualities. So I think they are wise to pay that fee for Ben White. But I think Ramsdale, that's a lot of money for a guy that has not got the best record in the Premier League over the last couple of seasons.
Next one for you, Jan, and it's from Divyansh, who says, Jan, does the Bayern financial structure showing its limitations now with Alaba gone on a free and stalling new contract negotiations with the likes of Koeman and Goretzka, surely any other club wouldn't have let Alaba, who's in his prime, depart, especially on a free?
Well, this is a very good question because this is a big thing now in Germany, because you have, in Bayern, in the structure of the wages, you have Neuer, you have Lewandowski, of course, and you have Müller. So they have been around 20 million euro. And then you have these other players who are not on the same money. Alaba said, I want to earn the same. And then they say, well, you've been at 10 years. We won't pay you that. And then they say, okay, adios, I'm going to Real Madrid. And now Kimmich's contract is up 2023. Goretzka's contract is up 2022. And Goretzka, for all, is saying, I want the same money. I want around 20 million. And then you have the problem because that structure is so easy to keep. And Bayern will say, well, Goretzka, Kimmich, you are the player for the future. You are the guys we're going to build the new generation around after the old ones, around 30 that I mentioned, will go out there. And Manchester United, being clever, of course, they're going to team Goretzka and saying, listen, if you have any problem, we can pay you more. So this is a big challenge for Bayern because they want to seem that they have a good, sensible financial system, but then they could end up losing 2 of their most vital and best players. Having said that, I have to say that at the end, Kay, that both Kimmich and Goretzka want to stay at Bayern, but the big money that sometimes decide where a player goes.
Yeah, of course. VD Blaugrana says, Shaka, on any given day, would you rather have Messi or Ronaldo in your team?
Cristiano Ronaldo?
Why?
No, I'm asking Cristiano Ronaldo, Brazil.
On any given day?
On any given day, Lionel Messi over Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right.
No question.
Okay. What about Brazilian Ronaldo? Lionel Messi or Brazilian Ronaldo?
On any given day?
Any
Listen,
given day.
I think at his best, at his most unplayable, Brazilian Ronaldo is better than Messi.
Brazilian Ronaldo or Ronaldinho?
Brazilian Ronaldo. I'd take Brazilian Ronaldo over, on his day, at his best, I'd take Brazilian Ronaldo over anybody.
Guys, what do you think of Shaka's power rankings? I'll start with you, Mark.
Well, I mean, Brazilian Ronaldo is a sensational player. You can't argue against that. And I think, sadly, people tend to remember him for what happened in the World Cup final in 1998 and the injuries, but he was an absolutely sensational player, and it's unfortunate that his time came before, social media, because it was sensational. It was, I've got to agree with Shaka. I think he was such an exciting, explosive talent. I don't know if people have seen the younger generation have seen the goal he scored. I think it was at Deportivo La Coruña or against Vigo or for Barcelona. This guy, he gets the ball on the halfway line, does a drag back, beats about 7 players, waltzing in the penalty area, dribbles past the goalkeeper, scores. I think Bobby Robson was the manager at the time, and he just looked at the skies and to say, I can't believe I've seen that. People should look at that on the YouTube. It's such a sensational goal, and that shows you what a player Ronaldo was, the original Ronaldo.
Compostela it was.
Well,
So go on then,
I
Jan.
will go Cristiano Ronaldo instead of Messi. I would start there. I think that Cristiano Ronaldo shown years after years, like Messi, but still, Cristiano Ronaldo did it at Manchester United. He did it at Real Madrid. He's doing it at Juventus. And so, if I'm gonna take him to another club, if I'm gonna take one of them, I would take Cristiano Ronaldo. And the Brazilian Ronaldo, I will say also what he did. He did it on terrible pitches. When you see some of the pitches where he's doing his magic, is unbelievable. I think what is so great, though, about Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo is that they have done it over so many years. I mean, we can take a Romario, Ronaldinho, or Brazilian Ronaldo, but they didn't do it for so many years. The level of goals and assists is just like unbelievable of these two superstars we have at the moment.
Jan hates Messi.
And you know what? He's not got a picture of him on the wall behind him.
That's
either,
right, he doesn't.
And I think that is
I've not
true.
seen. You're
There's
right.
no
Kay.
Messi picture on the wall.
Nothing.
Nothing, Jan.
It's my son's room, and if you see here,
So your son hates
that
Messi
is,
too?
No, that is Beckham, and if you see there, there, LeBron James, you see him there with my son and Thierry Henry. It's no Cristiano Ronaldo. There is no Messi. No, only. Yeah,
I think
Shaka.
Messi. I bet Messi's behind those shirts and he's just covered him up.
He's moved.
No,
He's removed the Ronaldo
Kay.
photo to his bedroom.
Kay.
That's what it is.
That is no. Then I should take David Beckham. I think my wife would like to have David Beckham in the bedroom.
Oh, it's a family show. Let's move on, shall we? Madara says, Shaka, why isn't Iniesta one of the GOATs? He won 4 Champions League and was man of the match in 3 of those finals, won Spain their only World Cup by scoring in the final, and won back-to-back Euros.
I absolutely love Andres Iniesta. Absolutely.
He loves everyone.
No, but
he loves everyone.
Here's what I don't understand. No, here's what I don't understand. Why every time we have an outstanding talent, we have to label them a GOAT or the GOAT. By definition, it's the greatest of all time. So it's supposed to be one. Yet every single 2 weeks we have a new GOAT. I don't understand it.
But you change your GOAT quite often, don't
Yeah,
you? Right?
Yeah.
So you're the one who's changing it every 2 weeks or not?
Because I find the whole concept in a team
loves
sport
everyone.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's sitting on the fence, I think.
No, I'm
isn't
just
it?
saying, no, the concept of having it's a team sport. And by virtue, individual awards are totally contradictory to this being a team sport.
All right. Dan asks, Jan and Shaka, after it was revealed that Shaw played through the final 3 games of the Euros with broken ribs, did you ever play through injuries when your teams needed you badly? Jan?
Oh, I mean, when you see back, I played in 4 different countries. I played 600-700 games. I can't remember one game I played feeling fit. I mean, that is just the name of the game. But I think I got a quite good story. We played Barnsley at Newcastle, and it was not Shaka in goal because the goalkeeper there made a rebound, and I thought if I score on this rebound, I can slide into the ball, but I will hit the post. So I decide, as every goal getter will do, I slide in, I score, I hit the post, and I'm taking off. This is 5 minutes before the end, and I'm sitting in the dressing room. And of course, Alan Shearer will score the 2-1, so we lost the game. And I was sitting there with all these pains. And when we came in, the other players asked me, "Did you touch that ball, Jan?" So I felt I would never go through a barrier like that again. But you always feel like you're playing with injuries. That's what you do.
What about you, Shaka?
I can tell you the day. February 22nd, 2004, Portsmouth played Liverpool in the FA Cup. We won 1-0. I saved a penalty from Michael Owen. I broke my finger in the warm-up. I remember the day because it was my 35th birthday. I broke my finger on my 35th birthday. So I didn't know it until got home after the game. My hand is still in pain. Go for an X-ray so the game was on a Saturday. Go for an X-ray on the Monday, and the X-ray showed that I broke my finger and just the ligament was holding the bone, or some little cartridge, something was holding the ball in place.
So did you, when you were playing, was it the adrenaline, or was it just feeling painful, your finger?
I don't remember having a whole lot of pain. I remember catching the ball awkwardly and thought, oh, that hurt. But played on. As Jan rightly says, 90% of the games you play with some kind of pain somewhere. And that was just one of those. I was only when I got home at night and realized it's not easing up. And then went into training the Monday morning, went for Harry Redknapp was the manager, sent me for an X-ray. X-ray showed that it was a break at the top of my knuckle.
Can you remember who?
We have to.
Sorry, 1 second, yeah.
We have to.
Who started in goal for Portsmouth?
No, who scored the goal?
Who scored? I cannot.
We need to. Richard Hughes.
Oh, okay. Richard Hughes. Yeah, I remember Hughes.
Yeah, it was just there in the back of my head.
I'm sure it was.
Jan.
I'm sure it was.
Now, I'm just thinking it should be a rule, Kay. When we two are in studio together, we have to talk about Borough. And my first game for Borough was yeah, and it was. I've told the story before, but my first game for Borough, and I got a kick over my eyes. And I thought I was sweating, so I played the last 30 minutes, and I took its sweating away, and it was blood. So I looked like Terry Butcher at the end. We won 3-1, and I came into the dressing room after the game, and Brian Robson looked at me and he said, "That is the attitude I want in this club." And I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I saw a guy that I've never seen before. This was a Viking, and I was nearly fainting, and I was thinking, okay, Gaffer.
It's a normal night out in Borough,
you're lucky.
It's a normal night out on the town in Middlesbrough. That will have definitely endeared you to the fans.
Macmillan's.
You couldn't get in at that time, Kay.
Thank you, Jan. Definitely far too young to be getting in any nightclubs at that time. Abu says, Shaka, if you could have played behind any defence, which would you have chosen? Who's in your ideal back four from your teammates? Ooh. So that's two questions, really. So first of all, if you could play behind any defence, maybe ever, shall we say?
Maybe ever. That's a good question.
It's interesting. Should we make it a set defence? So it's already, let's say it was Milan's defence or Barca's defence.
Yeah, it's right now. It's hard to look past Chiellini and Bonucci, given what they mean to today's football. But you look back at some of those Italian defences in the past, and it's hard to pick one.
All right.
If I'm picking out of players who I played behind, I'm going to go two Pierces as centre-halves, Ian and Stuart. Trevor Sinclair as my right back. I'm going to go John Beresford as my left back.
Oh, nice.
That's my back four. We won't keep many clean sheets, but it'll be a whole lot of fun.
A whole lot of fun. Well, that's what matters, eh? Mark, Lawrence asks, which sport is everyone looking forward to in the Olympics? And it's cheating if you say football.
Which sport is everyone looking forward to in the Olympics? Good question. I like the swimming in the Olympics, but I'm just kind of a bit worried this time it's going to be very quiet with no crowds there. But I do like the swimming because it's always very tight at the end, very close. But yeah, the Olympics is kind of second billing for me to the World Cup. So, I can take it or leave it, to be honest.
What about you, Jan?
Well, I'm desperate for the Olympics. I love my sport. There's not a lot of... In the Summer Olympics, there are not a lot of Norwegians, but we have a favourite in the 400-metre hurdles. His name is Karsten Warholm, and 2 weeks ago he made a new world record. In America, they will know Edwin Moses as the legendary athlete there. So I'm looking forward to the athletics. I love the athletics and see all the different kind of thing they're doing there. I'm a big fan of sport, and I'm looking forward to the Olympics.
I'm with you on that one, track and
field. Me too. I'm only looking forward to track and field, and specifically this year, the women's 100-metre final, which I think is the most hotly contested of the races this year around. You've got Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson, two Jamaicans, winners of the last 3 Olympic gold medals. Brianna Williams coming through, who is the heir apparent, also Jamaican. The Brits have a young lady whose name escapes me right now. That, more than any, is the race to look forward to.
You've got quite some Olympic knowledge, right, Shaka?
Well, I'm a very fast runner, Kay.
Did you used to host an Olympic show?
So Alexis Nunes and I covered the Olympics in 2016 for ESPN Caribbean. So we were there in Brazil doing I did everything from gymnastics to the sailing to the track events. It was something. I was in the stadium for Usain Bolt's 100-meter win.
Wonderful.
Wow.
I was there.
Wonderful. Well, the last question is for you from Kevin Shaka. It says, would Jan the player have survived playing in the heat of Trinidad and Tobago or Texas, as Shaka had?
Listen, I don't know how anybody survived in Texas, I'll be honest with you. The truth is, the game's just different. The game's a whole lot slower because you cannot run as you do in England or in Europe in that kind of heat. So the game it's far slower, far more technical. So you figure your way around. Asking if Jan can survive in the heat is the same as asking if I could have survived in the cold. And I made it through. I survived.
You made it through.
That's as much as I can say about it. I'm not going to say any more. I survived.
It's talking about the northeast of England.
Yeah.
Jan, how do you deal with hot climate? How do you deal with the hot weathers and hot temperatures?
Well, we tried that out in the '94 World Cup in USA. It was unbelievable, the heating, and it didn't. The Norwegian team, who were a lot of runners, and we have a very intense game. Okay against Mexico, and then we lost against Italy. The heating was enormous, as Shaka saying that the game is slower. But Shaka, I would have done my goals. You know that.
I'm sure you would have. I'm sure you would.
Texas worse than Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, for the heat. Texas is dry. It's humid. It's still. There's no breeze at all. At least in Trinidad and Tobago, you could look forward to a nice cooling breeze every so often. Texas is a stifling heat like I've never experienced.
Where's the best food?
Oh, Trinidad and Tobago is the best.
I thought you might say that. Thanks so much for joining us on the latest edition of Extra Time. We thank Mark, Jan, and also Shaka. And don't forget, you can catch ESPN FC daily on ESPN+.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.